Welcome back to Horoscope TV. If you were listening to this podcast episode right now, you are honestly in the perfect place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this one is entirely for you, our hardworking Capricorn friends. We are looking at your specific forecasts for the week of April 6 to April 12, 2026.
That's right.
And let me tell you right up front, you really need to stay tuned for this one.
Oh, for sure. It's a big week.
It really is. This week brings massive, fiery changes to your daily goals, a sudden and bright spark of bravery in your love life, and an unexpected surprise is going to involve your money.
Lots of movement.
Yeah, it is a lot to handle, but do not worry at all. We're going to look very closely at the astrological charts today, and they will act as a perfect map to help you navigate all of these events, step by step.
Exactly.
To help analyze this astro data and uncover the exact reasons why everything is happening this week, I want to warmly welcome our resident chart expert. Thank you so much for being here to guide our Capricorn listeners through all of this.
Oh, it is always a joy to be here. The astro data for Capricorn this week is just absolutely packed with movement.
I can imagine.
Yeah, we are going to see some very big shifts in how you feel and how you act. And I am, really excited to analyze what is happening in the stars so we can break down exactly what it means for everyday life.
Okay, well, let's unpack this right away. I mean, we are going straight into these big feelings and the push for change.
Let's do it.
Looking at the charts, it seems like the whole week really rides on the energy that starts just before our week even begins on April 5.
Yes, April 5 is key.
The sun makes this angle to Jupiter, and the charts show this brings big feelings and a strong urge to change things around you.
It really does.
Can you explain what is actually happening up there? Like, why does the sun connecting with Jupiter make a Capricorn want to just, change their whole life?
Well, that is a great place to start because it really sets the stage for the whole week. In astrology, the sun represents your core self. It is your main battery. It is who you are when you wake up in the morning. Now, Jupiter is the giant planet of the solar system.
Right, it's huge.
Exactly. So it represents the idea of more. More space, more ideas, more luck, more feelings.
Just expanding everything.
Exactly. When the sun and Jupiter form a sharp angle in the sky, which we call a square, they are not blending smoothly. They are actually bumping into each other. It creates friction.
So it is not a calm connection at all. It is more like two big, loud voices talking at the exact same time.
Yeah, exactly. Friction creates heat, and that heat makes you feel really restless. When you combine your core self with the planet of more in a harsh way, you wake up feeling like your current life is just too small for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your skin feels too tight. You look around your house or your job or your daily routine, and you just think, I need to change everything right now.
I have to get out of here.
Right. You want a totally new life, a completely blank page. And those feelings can be huge and very, very overwhelming.
I think we all know that feeling. It is like waking up on a Sunday morning, drinking like 3 cups of coffee, and suddenly deciding you need to remodel your entire home.
Yes, perfect analogy.
You are picking out new paint colors, dreaming of knocking down walls, and wanting a completely new layout. You just want to change the whole world.
But you cannot actually tear down your house in one day.
No, you really cannot.
And that is why the shape of this week is so fascinating. If you look at the charts, the week has a distinct funnel shape.
A funnel?
Yeah, it starts very wide and open with all those huge Jupiter dreams.
Yeah.
But then it funnels down into something very tight and focused. Because just a few days later, on April 8th, the moon moves into your own sign, Capricorn.
Okay, and how does the moon moving into Capricorn change that wild energy?
Well, the moon rules our feelings and our moods, right? It moves very quickly, changing signs every couple of days.
Right.
When it enters Capricorn, it enters an earth sign. Earth signs are grounded. They are about dirt, rocks, roots, and, building things in the real world.
Not just dreaming about them.
Exactly. So all those huge, overwhelming feelings of wanting to knock down walls suddenly hit solid ground. The energy funnels down.
I see.
You stop dreaming about building a mansion and you realize you just need to focus on scrubbing the kitchen floor.
I love that image. You go from dreaming big to doing the actual work.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, does that feel like a letdown?
How do you?
Well, if I wake up wanting to change the world, and by Wednesday I'm just scrubbing a floor, isn't that a bit sad?
That is a brilliant question. For some signs, yes, it would feel like a terrible letdown, but you have to remember who we are talking to.
Oh, right, Capricorns.
Yeah. For a Capricorn, it actually feels like a massive relief.
Oh, because Capricorns love a task they can actually finish.
Exactly. Capricorns are builders. Having huge dreams floating around in the air actually stresses you out if you cannot build them.
That makes total sense.
Scrubbing the kitchen floor is a real physical goal. You can see the clean floor, you can measure your success, and that shift into getting real things done sets you up perfectly for the next day.
Which is April 9.
Right. On April 9, Mars moves into the sign of Aries.
Mars is the action planet, right? Like the planet of fire and pushing forward.
Yes. Mars is raw action and fighting spirit, and Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. It is pure fire.
Right.
When Mars goes into Aries, it is like pouring rocket fuel into a car. It gives you fresh power to tackle really hard problems.
Okay, so they're already focused from scrubbing the floor, and now they get rocket fuel.
Exactly. The charts show that you take that focused, earthy energy from scrubbing the floor and you add this massive fiery boost of power to it. You are ready to face whatever hard tasks you've been avoiding for weeks.
But the astro data also gives a warning right after that, doesn't it?
It does.
On April 10th, there is a last quarter moon. The charts show this is the time to let go of bad habits. And later that same day, the moon enters Aquarius, which brings a wave of joy and time with friends.
Right.
I want to push back on this a little bit, actually.
Go ahead.
If Mars just gave me all this rocket fuel on April 9 to start fixing my problems, why is the moon telling me to let go and throw things away on April 10? Isn't that a mixed message?
It looks like a mixed message at first glance, yeah, but it is actually a beautiful combination. Let me explain how a last quarter moon works.
Please do.
The moon is shrinking in the sky. It is getting darker. In astrology, this is the sky's way of saying clear out the trash. It is a time of ending things.
Okay.
Now, think about that Mars energy. Mars gives you the bravery and the power to actually look at your life and say, this is not working.
Ah, I see. You need the strong energy to do the heavy lifting of throwing bad habits away.
Yes, exactly. Letting go is hard work. If you are already in a productive, problem-solving mindset, thanks to Mars, this is the exact right moment to look at your daily routine.
To clean house, basically.
Yeah, you can ask yourself, what is slowing me down? Letting go of bad habits on April 10th is the key to unlocking the joy that comes later that evening.
So what does that look like in real life? Like, what kind of bad habits are we talking about?
It could be anything that drains your battery. Maybe it is spending an hour staring at your phone in bed every morning.
Oh, guilty.
Right. Or maybe it is worrying about a conversation you cannot control. Maybe it is eating junk food when you feel stressed. If you spend the morning using that Mars power to let go of the things that drain you, you create empty space in your mind, in your heart.
And nature hates an empty space. Something has to fill it.
Exactly. And what fills it is the moon moving into Aquarius later that day.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah, Aquarius brings a light, happy, social energy. It makes you want to be around people who make you laugh. But you can only feel that happiness and enjoy that time with your friends if you made room for it earlier in the day by dropping the bad habits.
Wow, so you really have to earn the fun by doing the mental cleanup first.
You really do.
It is like cleaning your house so you can finally invite people over for dinner without feeling embarrassed.
That is a perfect way to look at it. You do the hard work so you can enjoy the reward.
And that shift from big dreams to hard work is going to impact one area of your life immediately, your career and your wallet.
Oh, definitely.
Let's look at the work and money forecast, because this is where the charts show things getting very interesting.
Yes, the money charts are flashing some bright warning signs, but they're also showing some amazing chances for growth if you play your cards right.
Okay, let's go back to that April 5 connection between the sun and Jupiter. We talked about how it makes you want to change your life.
Right.
The charts show it brings big ideas for work, but also a huge urge to spend money on fun things. The astro data literally has a warning that you must save instead. Why does Jupiter make us want to open our wallets and buy things we just do not need?
Well, Jupiter is the planet of growth, but it is also the planet of blind hope.
Blind hope. Interesting.
Yeah. When Jupiter is active, it makes you feel very lucky. It whispers in your ear, go ahead and buy it. You will make more money tomorrow.
It tricks you.
It does. It makes you feel generous and maybe a little perilous. You might see a shiny new toy, a big vacation package, or a fancy dinner and think, I deserve this right now. I want to feel good.
I know exactly what you mean. You ride the wave of a good mood, and suddenly you're putting a giant television on your credit card.
Exactly.
And the charts also warn that at work, you should not promise more than you can actually do. Is that the same Jupiter energy?
Yes, it is the exact same thing. At work, you might be in a meeting and feel so full of big ideas that you say, yes, I can finish that huge report by Friday.
Just to impress people.
Right. You
Yeah.
want to impress people. You feel like you can do anything. But the charts are giving a strong warning against biting off more than you can chew.
Because if you promise to build a mansion and you only have time to scrub the floor, you are going to let people down.
That is precisely the danger. You have to ground those big ideas. Luckily, there is another planet helping you do just that.
Oh, good. We need some help.
Yeah, Venus is in the sign of Taurus right now.
Okay, let's break that down. What does Venus and Taurus do for a Capricorn's wallet?
Well, Venus is known as the planet of love, but it also rules money, beauty, and what we value.
Okay.
Taurus is an earth sign. It is represented by the bull. It is slow, heavy, secure, and loves comfort. When Venus is visiting Taurus, it is very happy because Venus actually rules Taurus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so this energy acts like a heavy anchor for your money.
So if Jupiter is the voice saying spend it all, Venus in Taurus is the voice saying put it in a heavy iron safe.
Yes, Venus in Taurus loves safety and slow, steady growth. It reminds you that slowly building wealth in your bank account brings a much deeper feeling of comfort than spending it all on a quick thrill.
That makes a lot of sense.
It wants to keep you safe from Jupiter's wild ideas.
I'm so glad Venus is there to act as a safe shield for the bank account. But looking ahead to April 8, it seems like that shield is going to be tested.
It is.
The moon is in Capricorn, focusing on your main work goals. But Mars links to Uranus. The charts show this brings sudden chances to show off skills, but it also brings a sudden money surprise, like an unexpected bill.
Yeah, Uranus is tricky.
If Venus is keeping things safe, how does a surprise bill get through the door?
That is a very common question. Venus protects what you already have. It helps you save. But Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks, lightning bolts, and things coming out of nowhere.
So you can't plan for it.
Exactly. You cannot plan for Uranus. When Mars, the fast action planet, hits Uranus, it sets off an alarm. It brings an event from the outside world. Your car might break down on the way to work.
Oh, no.
Your phone might drop and break. You might get a medical bill in the mail that you completely forgot about.
That is always scary. Capricorns like to have everything planned out perfectly.
They really do.
A surprise bill feels like a failure to a Capricorn, even if it is not their fault. How do they keep from panicking?
The secret to not panicking is looking at what happens the very next day. On April 9, Mars moves into Aries. We talked about how this gives you fresh rocket fuel and power.
Right, the rocket fuel.
In the money charts, this drive is specifically pointed at earning more cash to fix problems. The sudden, unexpected bill on April 8 might feel like a punch to the stomach, but the drive to earn cash on April 9 will give you the exact motivation you need to handle it.
That is amazing. So the panic actually turns into fuel.
Yes, you will wake up and say, okay, I have this bill, I do not like it, but I also have the energy to pick up an extra shift or sell something online or figure out a new way to offer my skills to make money.
Oh, I see.
That is why Mars hitting Uranus also brings sudden chances to show off your skills. The pressure of the bill forces you to step up at work and prove how good you are.
It is like being pushed onto a stage.
Yeah.
You might be scared, but you perform beautifully because you have to.
Precisely.
And then on April 10th, with that last quarter moon we discussed, the charts say you should throw away old work projects that no longer work.
Yes, clear the trash.
I feel like throwing away old projects is actually a way to make mental room to figure out those new ways to make money. If your desk is completely covered in old paperwork that is going nowhere, how can you invent a new way to pay that surprise bill?
You hit on the exact logic of the stars right there. Making smart choices now builds a strong future. Throwing away dead-end projects gives you back your time.
Right.
It clears the noise out of your brain so you can clearly see the road ahead. Capricorns are natural builders. Right now, the astro data is giving you the tools to clear the old land, knock down the dead trees, and build a much stronger future for yourself and your family.
I love how this works. You get a shock, you find the fire to fix it, and you clear the trash to make room for new growth.
It's a great cycle.
And all this bravery and sudden action in your career is going to spill right over into how you deal with the people you care about most.
It definitely is.
Let's move into the love and romance forecast, because the journey here goes from very calm to incredibly exciting.
The love charts for this week show a really beautiful progression. It is a perfect example of how building a solid base leads to wonderful things.
Let's start early in the week, around April 5. The charts show Venus connecting to the North Node, giving very stable energy.
Yes, stable and strong.
It says you want to build strong bonds, and singles might meet a nice person who makes them feel safe. But I want to stop right there. What exactly is the North Node? It is not a planet, right?
Right, it's not.
How does it affect our love lives?
You are right. The North Node is not a physical planet. In simple terms, it is a point in the sky where the path of the moon crosses the path of the sun.
Okay.
In astrology, the North Node represents your destiny. It is your compass. It points to the true path you are supposed to walk in this life to grow and be happy.
So like a signpost pointing forward.
Exactly. So when Venus, the planet of love, connects to your North Node, it means your heart is looking for the right path. You are not looking for wild drama.
No drama, just peace.
Right. You do not want a temporary fling that distracts you. You want a love that helps you walk your true path. You want someone who feels like home, someone who packs a lunch for your long journey and walks beside you.
I really like that. It is a very grounded, safe feeling. You want a partner who makes you feel secure.
Yes.
And it makes sense that you start the week seeking safety because the charts show that on April 9, when Mars moves into Aries, passion wakes up in a huge way.
A very huge way.
This is you will feel brave and might tell someone exactly how you feel out loud.
This is where the magic happens. If we look at how these events connect, we see why the timing is so perfect. True passion requires feeling secure first.
Right.
If you feel shaky or unsure about a relationship, you hold back. You hide your true feelings because you are afraid of being hurt.
It is like building a solid stone fireplace before you light a roaring fire.
Oh, I like that.
If you just light a fire on the living room floor, it burns the house down.
Yeah.
But if you have that stone fireplace, the safety of Venus and the North Node, you can let the fire burn as hot as it wants.
That is a wonderful way to picture it, because the early week gives you that cozy blanket of safety and destiny. You build up a deep reserve of trust. When Mars hits Aries on April 9 and lights that fire of courage, you feel safe enough to actually use it. You can look at your partner or someone you have a crush on and just speak your truth out loud without fear.
Wow.
You can say, I love you, or I want to take this to the next level, and you say it with total confidence.
And it is so nice to see that the week ends with lucky plans for the future. Looking ahead to April 13, Venus makes a lucky link to Jupiter.
Yes, Jupiter again.
The charts show this brings joy, good luck to dates, and special plans. It proves that the bravery on April 9 really pays off.
It absolutely pays off.
Yeah.
The astro data promises a reward for your honesty. Venus and Jupiter holding hands is one of the most lucky, happy combinations you can get in a love chart.
That sounds amazing.
We talked earlier about Jupiter being the planet of more. Well, when it connects smoothly with the planet of love, it means more joy, more laughter, and big, happy plans.
So if you speak your mind on Thursday, by Monday you might be booking a romantic trip or talking about moving in together.
Yes. It is all about growth and feeling incredibly lucky to be with the person sitting across the table from you.
That is a beautiful picture. But have to be real for a second.
Sure.
Setting off fireworks in your love life, dealing with surprise bills at work, pushing yourself to earn more money, and doing the hard mental work of letting go of bad habits.
It's a lot.
That takes a massive physical toll on a person. You cannot just run at full speed all week without getting tired.
No, you can't.
This brings us to the health and wellness charts, and the theme here is clearly about pacing the fire.
You are absolutely right. The physical warnings in the astro data are very clear this week. The charts show a fast burn, and if you do not manage your energy carefully, you will crash.
Let's look at the timeline because it starts off very active. On April 5, the moon is in Sagittarius. The charts show this creates a strong need to get outside and move your body.
Sagittarius is a fire sign, but it is an adventurous fire. It is the sign of the traveler, the horse running in the open field.
Okay, I can picture that.
When the moon is there on April 5, your body literally craves movement. You want to go for a long run, hike a mountain, or just be out in the open air breathing deeply.
That sounds really healthy. Getting fresh air is always good.
It is very healthy, but it starts drawing down your battery early in the week,
Yeah.
and the danger comes a few days later.
Oh, here we go.
By April 9, when Mars enters Aries, there is a big warning in the charts. The data says to be very careful because this fiery energy can make you rush and hurt yourself.
Yikes.
The advice is to do quiet stretching instead.
Okay, I want to push back on that advice pretty hard.
Go ahead.
Capricorns are famous for pushing through the pain to get to their goals. They are represented by the mountain goat.
Right, the goat climbing the mountain.
They climb the rocks no matter how steep it is. If they're feeling all this fresh power on April 9, won't it be incredibly hard for them to just sit down on the floor and do quiet stretches? It seems like it goes completely against their nature.
You are absolutely right that it goes against their nature, and that is exactly why the warning is written in the charts.
Ah, I see.
The stars know that Capricorns will want to push. But we have to look at the mechanics of how Mars in Aries works on the human body.
Okay, break that down for us. Why is it dangerous?
Because Mars in Aries makes you feel blind to your own physical limits. It makes you feel invincible, like Superman.
But we aren't Superman.
No, your bones and muscles are still human. If you let that fiery energy make you rush, you lose your focus. You decide to lift weights that are way too heavy at the gym. You sprint when you should jog.
You just go too fast.
Right. Or even in the house, you rush around the kitchen, chopping vegetables too fast, or you try to carry 5 heavy boxes down the stairs at once.
And that is when you drop a knife, or trip on the rug, or pull a muscle in your back.
Exactly. Rushing leads to mistakes and injuries. If you push too hard on April 9 and injure yourself, you will be forced to stop completely.
Which a Capricorn would hate.
They would absolutely hate it. You will not be able to work or enjoy your weekend. Doing quiet stretching is a clever way to trick that energy.
Trick the energy.
Yes. It keeps the muscles moving so you feel active, but it removes the danger of rushing. It is like turning down the flame on the stove so the soup does not boil over.
Stretching is like changing the oil in the car instead of driving it into the red zone. That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And it sets them up for the rest they need, because on April 10th, the last quarter moon says to rest and heal.
Yes, the body needs to heal from all the stress of the week. And you really need to follow that advice, because by the time we look ahead to April 13, the charts show a major energy drop. Mars meets Neptune.
What happens when the planet of action meets Neptune?
Well, Neptune is the planet of water, oceans, and deep fog. It is very dreamy and distant. Think about what happens when you throw a burning torch into the ocean.
It makes a lot of steam, and then the fire goes out completely.
Exactly. Neptune dissolves that fiery Mars energy. It puts the fire out. The charts show you will feel very heavy and very tired.
Oh, wow.
If you rushed all week and ignored the warnings to stretch and rest, you will be totally exhausted by the 13th. You might even feel a bit sick or burnt out.
But if they pace themselves?
If you paced yourself, that deep Neptune rest will just feel like a nice, relaxing evening. Your mind will stay clear and happy, and sleep will feel like wonderful medicine.
Pacing yourself is the ultimate life hack for this week. Do not try to be Superman.
Exactly.
Now, navigating this tricky physical and mental energy is much easier if you know exactly who to keep close to you and who you might need to avoid. That brings us to our look at the cosmic friends, foes, and lucky charms for Capricorn this week.
This is always a very helpful part of analyzing the charts, because the people around us affect our energy just as much as the planets do. We pick up on their moods.
Let's start with the best match. The astro data clearly points to Aquarius as your best friend this week.
Yes, Aquarius is perfect right now.
The charts say that when Mars moves into Aries on April 9, you will share excitement and fun projects with Aquarius. It says you will even understand each other without speaking.
That's a rare connection.
And later, that lucky Venus and Jupiter connection brings pure joy to your talks. Why is Aquarius such a perfect match for Capricorn right now?
Aquarius is an air sign. Think about how air interacts with fire. When you have all this Mars fire burning inside you, trying to get work done and fix problems, the air sign gently feeds the fire without smothering it.
Oh, that makes sense.
The charts point to Aquarius as a safe harbor this week because they offer a cool, clear mental space.
They share your excitement, but they do not add unnecessary drama to your life.
Precisely. They are very smart, but they're also a bit detached. The fact that you can understand each other without speaking out loud is a huge gift this week.
Because you're already so busy.
Right. You are dealing with so much pressure from work and money. The last thing you want to do is spend your precious energy explaining your feelings over and over. You can just sit in a room with an Aquarius, work on a fun project together, and feel totally supported in the silence.
That sounds incredibly relaxing, just sitting on the couch together, reading different books, and feeling perfectly happy.
It's the best feeling.
On the other hand, we have the worst match for the week, which is Pisces.
Yeah, Pisces is tough right now.
The data shows that the Sun and Jupiter square on April 5 brings stress, misunderstanding, and totally different goals with Pisces. And on the last quarter moon, on April 10th, this tough energy peaks with silly arguments over small things.
Just little annoying fights.
Right. The advice is to keep a polite distance to stay calm. What is going wrong between Capricorn and Pisces this week?
It is simply a matter of the charts clashing. Pisces is a water sign. They feel things very deeply, and they want to merge their feelings with the people around them. But remember that Sun and Jupiter friction early in the week. It makes everyone feel very strongly about their own personal path.
So everyone is focused on themselves.
Right. For Capricorn and Pisces, your goals are simply moving in opposite directions right now. You are looking at the world through completely different windows.
They just aren't seeing eye to eye.
Exactly. Pisces might want to dive deep into emotional talks while you are trying to figure out how to pay a surprise bill and scrub your kitchen floor. The energies do not mix.
It is like trying to mix oil and water. You can shake the bottle as hard as you want, but they are going to separate.
Exactly. Trying to force a connection or trying to convince a Pisces to see things your practical way will just lead to silly, draining fights.
Especially around April 10th.
Yeah, especially around April 10th when you are trying to let go of bad habits, they might take it personally. The best thing you can do is just smile, be polite, and walk away. Give them space. Focus on your own growth and save your energy for your own tasks.
That is very wise advice. Keep a polite distance. Now let's talk about the lucky elements for the week, because I found the color choice really interesting.
The color choice is fantastic this week.
Your best dates are April 8th and April 10th. Your lucky numbers are 10, 15, 23, 30, 36, and 42. But the lucky color of the week is gray, specifically the hex code of hashtag 808080.
Right.
Now, normally people think of gray as a boring color. It is dull, it is rainy weather. But looking at all the fiery, rushing energy in the charts this week, gray feels completely different to me.
How so?
It feels like a cool, calming shield. It is the perfect exact color code to remind you to stay grounded.
That is a brilliant way to look at it, and it matches the earth energy perfectly. Gray is the color of stone, of solid rock, of concrete.
Right, it's strong.
It does not demand attention, but it is incredibly strong and unmoving.
A fire cannot burn a gray rock. The rock just absorbs the heat and stays exactly where it is.
Exactly. When you are dealing with surprise bills, sudden passion in your love life, and the urge to rush around and change the world, wearing the color gray can act as an anchor for your mind.
Like a visual reminder.
Yes, it is a visual cue. When you look down at a gray shirt, or you just keep that exact shade in your mind, it reminds you to stay neutral. It reminds you to stay calm and strong no matter what surprises Uranus throws at you.
I love that. Boring is actually power this week. A calm shield of gray stone to protect you from the fire.
It really is.
Well, this has been an incredibly deep look at the astro data for our Capricorns. We have covered so much ground today.
We really have.
We talked about waking up, wanting to remodel your life, but realizing the power is in scrubbing the floor. We talked about surviving surprise bills by turning panic into fuel to earn more.
And we covered love, too.
Yeah, we learned how building a cozy, safe foundation early in the week allows you to set off passionate fireworks by Thursday. And we learned why stretching is better than sprinting, and why a boring gray rog is your best defense against the chaos.
It's a map for the whole week.
It truly is. As we wrap up this forecast, what is one final thought our listeners can take with them to chew on as they walk into this wild week?
Well, we have talked so much today about finding your power and using it wisely instead of just letting it explode.
Right.
Since the charts show you having the sudden bravery to speak your true feelings in love and the fresh rocket fuel to tackle hard work problems head on, I want you to ask yourself this one question.
Okay, what is it?
What is the single conversation you have been putting off that you can finally conquer this week?
Oh, wow. That is a big question.
It is. We all have that one conversation we are avoiding because it feels too hard. Maybe it is asking for what you are worth at work.
Or telling someone you love them?
Exactly. Or maybe it is setting a boundary with a friend. You have the stars backing you up this week to be brave, clear, and grounded. Now is the perfect time to use that voice.
What a perfect question to end on. What is the one conversation you can finally conquer? Think about it, Capricorns. Thank you so much for joining me today and helping unpack all of these wonderful charts and the mechanics behind them.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And to you, our hardworking listener, thank you so much for spending your time with us and listening to this podcast episode on Horoscope TV. We absolutely love helping you map out your week and find your power. If you enjoyed this and want to stay ahead of the stars, please hit that subscribe button so you can instantly get notified when the next weekly episode is available to help guide your future. Have a brave, focused, and powerful week, Capricorn, and we will see you next time.